Hi, everyone. I'm three-time U.S. Olympian and six-time national champion Hazel Clark.
And I'm Shannon Grady, exercise physiologist, author of The Lactate Revolution, and inventor of the MyBia app.
And we are so excited to partner with MileSplit to bring you an educational series specifically designed to help high school athletes optimize their performance.
This series is data-driven with elite-level coaching insights to maximize your potential.
That's right. Follow us on milesplit.com.
It's time
to revolutionize your performance. Hello, friends. This is Hazel Clark and
Shannon Grady.
And we are back to take you through phase 3 of our 12-week program. Let's just recap, Shannon. We had phase 1 was
aerobic foundation.
Phase 2
was aerobic rate capacity, so more like faster, 3K pace, longer intervals.
Yep. And phase 3
is anaerobic rate capacity. So now we're getting into some speed work.
We're really getting into speed work. And just to break this down for you in regular terms, this is us training at your 800 pace. In fact, we had a question about that, right, Shannon?
We did have a question about that.
So before we get started, when we talk about 800 pace, someone asked, do you mean my PR pace or do you mean my current fitness level? What is the answer?
So for training, you want to go at your current fitness level. So you kind of have to guesstimate that, unless you did an 800 meter time trial or something like that. So you want to go at your current fitness level, because if you train at goal pace, while it sounds fun and neat, it's not where you are right now.
Yeah.
So we got to work where you are.
That's right.
To move forward.
There you go.
Yep.
One more thing I want to say is I like to be called a long sprinter when I was running, not a middle distance runner. For all of you pure 800 meter runners, you are a long sprinter. And this phase is going to help you with that prolonged sprinting, that finishing kick. It's a really, really crucial phase. So pay close attention and really think about everything that Shannon's going to share with you.
Yeah, and this is really important to try to get in a whole phase of this before the outdoor season starts. If you can get this in your preparation, whether it's preseason or indoor season, it's really going to help you when you get to that outdoor season. It's a really, really kind of great if you're able to build the anaerobic capacity during the preseason and then come back to it again in the outdoor season. I mean, that's huge. That's huge beneficial. So let's walk through kind of like what this phase looks like.
Yeah, and before you start, I will say, when it came to running intervals on my 800 pace, my favorite intervals to run were 200s. I love that workout.
Yes.
I love doing 4 or 200s, take a break, another 4 200s at my 800 pace. But take us through what you've cooked up.
That's a great workout. That's a great. So anaerobic capacity, again, it's all about individual capacity. Now, for this, you want to do anywhere from 200 meters. So like, and you can even start with 150s just to kind of work you in. But 200 meters all the way up to 800 meter repeats, that's really hard.
It's very,
you guys, the first time through, especially high school, you might really settle on the longest being 400 meter repeats, because you want to try to get a total of about at least 1,000 meters of work. So you're talking, 5, 6, 400s at your 800 pace. It's pretty challenging. Up to like 2,000 meters of work.
Yes,
I mean, it's quite a bit of anaerobic work.
Absolutely.
But you're taking a good break in between.
Yeah. Always a great recovery. Great effort, great recovery.
Exactly, yeah. So if you're going to run a 400, it's going to take you, depending on how fast you are, say it takes you a minute, you're going to take 3 to 4 minutes rest. And you can walk that, get some water. But the goal is to get as much work as you can at that pace, taking that recovery. And again, 1,000 to 2,000 meters worth of work is a great target to do 2 times a week.
It's good. Can you take us through the day by day?
So again, similar to the other phases, Sunday we're going to do our zone run, our 15. If you worked your way up to 40 minutes, you can even push it to 45 minutes in this third phase. It's okay. And some of you more advanced middle distance runners, maybe you've already worked your way up to an hour, but that's generally when you're junior, senior year after you've been training quite a couple of years. The 800 meter runners may touch on that, but if you can go to 45 in zone 2, that's great. But again, work at your capacity. If you can only do 10 minutes and you need to take a 30 seconds break, that's fine, but just stay in that zone. Stay in that zone. Monday's recovery day, same thing, 15 to 30 minutes. You can do an easier run, or you can do a cross train, biking, swimming. We talked about that. And then Tuesday and Friday is going to be our anaerobic workout day. So 2 good sample workouts. What would you say?
Ooh, my goodness. You put me in the spot with that. Let's see. Anaerobic, what would I do? I would do maybe 7 to 10 times 150, as you said.
Yes, that's a great
7
one
to
to
10
start.
times the 200. I like.
Yes.
We're getting a little dicey as we get closer,
Yeah.
as you said, to over 400. I mean, I definitely did the repeat 400s, and that is a great workout on a serious note. Definitely felt it was tough to run 800 on race pace. I know that there was a workout where I did 800 on race pace, and I took a break and did another one, a very long break.
Remember, I think we had like 2 by 800 at 800 pace.
Yeah,
We had a break in between.
Right.
And
That's
then
what I'm talking about.
we had a little longer break, and then we had another 2 by 800.
I know, it's
oh, that was the
crazy.
death day. That
Woo,
was hard.
death
When
day.
you work yourself up to 800, so that's pretty tough. But you
Yeah.
guys should aim for working from 150s up to 400s. Those are excellent twice a week,
Yep.
right?
I just want to get a quick question in before we go.
Yeah.
And that question is about, should I be doing double workouts in phase 3? Double workouts in phase 3. So I guess maybe morning and afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, doubles for high school. If you're a freshman or a sophomore, definitely no. You don't need doubles.
Okay.
Doubles, not really. If you're a junior and senior, you've built up your training and you're able to handle the work. It's okay to do doubles. I would suggest starting out with cross train doubles rather than run doubles.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I only ran for 2
Absolutely.
years. A lot of people don't know that in high school.
Right.
And my senior year, I remember during my lunch break, my coach would come get me and throw me in the pool. So that was my way of getting in that
Yeah.
extra work, was like kind of doing some pool jogging.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to have a pool at our school. But I definitely would say senior year would be the time to really focus if you're going to on doubles.
Definitely.
Yep.
And they don't need to be extreme. 15 to 30 minutes
That's
at
it.
the most, just to help build some extra aerobic foundation without having to run 60 minutes at a time. So break it up.
I think you're giving us everything we need in this phase, Shannon.
I love it.
So you know what time it is.
To revolutionize
Your performance. See you soon. So we talked about the mental aspect, and I have to say this because we talk a lot about mental on this. I believe because you just had so many different top middle distance athletes and distance athletes through the years. You've seen it all. You've seen all sorts of challenges. You've seen all sorts of mindsets, and you've learned how to coach all of those different mindsets. We get a lot of messages about the challenge of having competitive training groups. And you for sure have had some very competitive training groups. Can you talk to me about a few situations? Obviously, you don't have to use names, and how you were able to navigate those dynamics of the competitiveness and the mental?
Yeah, yes. Well, this was at a higher level, but doesn't matter. You can be competitive running 3 minutes for the 800, so you can have to control it. But there is something that no one has ever has addressed. It's the first time it's being addressed on this show. Never have I,
exclusive. We have
never
the
have I
exclusive.
heard it. So you have to be able to identify the crazy gene.
Okay. You heard that, the
There it is.
crazy gene coach.
There it
Okay.
is.
There and
Guys, secrets.
and it's okay to have it, and it's your job to cultivate it and be able to control it. So the competitiveness, when you have 2 people in the group and they're competitive and they both have that, it becomes toxic. It could become toxic, or it can be really good. So you teach them, and it's going to a point where I'll tell you this, because she's retired. It didn't bode well for the household, but my wife didn't usually have the crazy dream, but every now and then it would sneak out, and she was a 5-time Olympian.
That's crazy as hell.
That is crazy.
I mean, I told her to go through in like 59. She came through in 55. So I said, okay, that doesn't count. I'm not saying do that, but I'm telling you what it takes. And sometimes that's what it took. Okay, that was just a nice warm up. So let's walk a lap and let's try it again. And I guarantee you, if you talk but you have to know the language. I knew that language wouldn't work for my wife, but I knew I would get the result. So you have to know your athlete and what's going to work and what is not going to work. So for some people, they might have retired after that. Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm going home. You'll never see me again. You have to know what to say and what not to say. And the only way to know that is to know your athlete that you're coaching. So once you see them and you identify they're being competitive and the one-stepping, you're running, there always want to one step, you got to be one step ahead. You have to control all that, and you have to tell them what to think about, or what part of the race are you in. It's very important. When you're doing an interval, you're not doing an interval. you're doing part of the race. You're running the race, so you have to teach them. Is that how you run your race? And you look and yeah, tell me is that how you run your race? No. What would you do differently? Well, I wouldn't go that fast because I have to keep going. Exactly. So imagine you have to keep going. And I've had one case when they said, "Oh, I could keep going at this," so I just had a short recovery, like 10 seconds, go again, and they couldn't. So they learned their lessons. This was years ago. Nowadays, you just got to talk things out more, and you can't do some of those things that were very effective. You have to be more smarter with what you say. But the thing is, and the constant is, you have to know your athlete. You have to know what works and what doesn't. Who can you talk quickly to? Who do you have to sit down? Who's not going to hear no matter what you say? They're not going to hear it on the track. You have to bring them into the office and talk to them. So you have to know the language, and you control the atmosphere by what you tell them, and they will respond. But if you're talking a different language and they're not understanding you or not going through,
You gotta adapt. You gotta adapt.
Yeah, wasting your time.